Hey everyone, we're back. We've got another product from a brand that we've been reviewing a lot here lately. Sanseking. Yeah, not Santa King, Sanseking. Yeah. We've taken a look at one of their other deck boxes, and we've taken a look at some of their sleeves. Deck box, the previous deck box, we rated fairly well, although a little pricey, and the sleeves themselves were about average, I would say. So not terrible. So we're going to take a look at this particular deck box. It claims that it is a commander deck box, can hold up to 100 sleeved cards, and I believe there is one other little thingy here about it. I believe it has a kind of like a breakout dice tray that you can pull out. So we're going to take a look at this thing, and we're going to see, is it worth your time and is it worth your money? Let's go ahead and open it up. Again, just to kind of give you a quick overview here. Yeah, this is a really nice retail packaging on Sanseking's part. Pretty basic, but still attractive enough. So a retailer, if you were looking to possibly, get some of these and stick some of these on your shelves and do some reselling, you can do that because the retail packaging is pretty nice. Let's see if I can get this open. Ooh, that's some thick plastic. Arrgh! Where's my blade? We have blades for a reason. There we go. All right. Tear this on open. Toss this aside. Okay, the box a little dinged up from the shipping. Again, this is from the shipping. This is not from the seller, so don't want to take anything off there. But yeah, just to kind of give you a good look at the packaging there. It's got a picture of the deck box there on the side. And that gives you a little overview there. It says lambskin PU leather with soft hand touch. Wearproof embossed logo. Main compartment can hold 100 plus standard sized cards. U-shaped design to put in and take out cards more conveniently. That's the little divot that they talk about there. Dice tray can hold dice, coins, or other small gadgets. Straight stitching, nice and exquisite. Premium liner, waterproof and wearproof. Magnetic flap, sturdy closure. Small box with bottom magnet to attach steadily. That's what it says here. A silver hot stamping logo with exquisite look. Well, they mentioned the stamping twice, don't they? I thought I saw it on here twice. Oh well. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's see what this is all about. And oh, I'm already getting a bit of a feel for this, and it feels interesting. Please, I don't want to tear up the box. There we go. All right, look at that. It's a nice, nice, interesting red they have here. Let's bring that out. Set the box aside for now. Okay, so a little dirty, a little bit of stuff on it. Got something right there. Now the feel right off the bat does feel different. It's definitely very, very, it feels okay to the touch, but it's actually sort of grippy. Yeah, it's interesting. Usually you have like kind of a cloth feel on some of these, or you have that standard kind of semi-slick PU leather feel. This says it's PU lambskin, so I wonder if that's, the big difference here, because, yeah, it definitely does feel grippier. Yeah, feels kind of nice. And then, of course, you've got the kind of stamp right there. Not sure how clear that comes out on camera. It does say Sanseking there on the top. Also has it here on the front. Oh, has it here on the back as well. And on the side, look at that. It's got some branding all over the place there, so everybody's going to know what kind of deck box you have. All right, let's take a look. We've got some stitching here on the front. That looks pretty good there. Good there. Good. Good there. The side looks okay there. And that's actually the dice tray. So we're going to take a closer look at that. But yeah, it looks pretty good there. Let's go ahead and flip this open. I'm going to take this little piece of paper out. Oh, wow. That's not even a piece of paper. That's like a whole chunk of cardboard there. Okay. Usually it's like some kind of like tissue paper, but they're like, no, we're sticking a whole cardboard piece in there. Okay. So, let's check these magnets. Pretty good, actually. Yeah, very, very strong. How many magnets do we have here? Can we see 1, 2, 3? I'm feeling 3 magnets there. And they do stick pretty darn good there. Very nice. Okay, so let's flip this on open. All right. Ooh. Ooh, can you hear that? First opening sounds kind of interesting. Okay, so let's get rid of this silica gel. Again, kids, do not eat this. All right, so there's the actual deck box itself, and here's the tray. Now, my question is, does this all come apart? I know the tray comes out, and it does have magnets, and the magnets there are actually a little weaker than I would like, but should be okay as long as you don't, if you keep it closed, it should be fine, but just taking it off, like you can tell it wants to stick it there, but it comes off pretty darn easy. So that's the little dice tray. Does this actually come off too? No, it does not. Okay, so this part is actually, I don't know if it's probably just glued down to this extra piece right here. So this whole thing doesn't just come off. It doesn't break out into 3 pieces here. Okay, so that does stick there. All right, I'm checking some stitching here on the inside, and the felt actually does feel pretty nice. Feels very standard to what you get from other deck boxes. Let's see, the stitching appears to be okay. All right, not bad there. I'm going to flip this over here real quick. Okay, yeah, I wanted to check something here, because sometimes with deck boxes like this that fold open with multiple sections here, they tend to have this little bump that they form whenever you open them up all the way. And this one does not have that, so that's actually really good. Okay, let's check the inside here. A little bit of a glue issue right there. Little tiny bits of, look like dust particles. Nothing too bad. A little bit of glue right there. Feels like it kind of bends in a little bit right here. I'm not sure how clear that comes out on camera, but there is a bit of a curl, of a little push in there. A little glue there. Okay, so a little excess glue. A little bit more right here. Yeah, little spots with excess glue here, 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 and here. Let me check the stitching around the edge. Wow, this does not want to come off. Is this more glue? It feels like it's a little glob of glue that I'm having to get off here. Okay. But the stitching actually does appear to look really, really good there. So good stitching there. Let's check the measurements of this box. Where's my little measuring thing here? Here we go. Got our little micrometer. All right, so we're going to check the inside of the box. And we're going to try and check from the edges and from the middle. Sometimes those measurements are a little bit different. All right, so here from the very edge, 95 millimeters. Does that change when we move further inside? What about on this edge? 95.1. So there are slight variations, but that's a very, very small amount. You're not going to be able to tell that amount of difference in most cases. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Let's turn it around here. Go from this side. $72.7 on that end, and 72.3. So again, slight differences between those two ends, less than a millimeter. So in most cases, from just an eyeball perspective, you can't really tell the difference. You'd have to really look at it to be able to tell the difference, and it looks perfectly fine to me. So those are your measurements for that. What about, let's go ahead and do the overall deck box so you can know exactly how big this thing is. Let me park this thing back in here if I can. Just like that. Let's close you up. All right, let's see. How tall is this thing? Looking at about 84.2. As far as how long you are, you're going to be a bit of a long boy here. In fact, oh wow, we're pushing right to the edge of my micrometer here. 152.7 approximate. So it's, yeah, those are your measurements there. And as far as I guess how deep it is, let's go ahead and do that as well since we're doing all these measurements. 95.1. All right, so there we go. Let's put you aside here. While we're doing measurements, I'm going to actually measure this overall deck tray as well. 73.2, 83.4, 45.6. And again, these are approximate. It is possible that my little micrometer is a little off there, but that gives you the approximate there. We'll put you aside for now. Okay, now again, it says it does hold up to 100 cards, sleeved cards. So let's break out the commander deck. And this is, again, 100 sleeved cards. It's not an actual commander deck. It's just my test deck, just for this sort of thing. But again, it is 100 cards, single sleeved. So we're going to put all these in here, and we're going to see if we have any extra leftover room. Doing these in little sections here. It is a very tight fit. Yeah, not a lot of extra give there, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You generally don't want your cards bumping around too much if you don't like that sort of thing. Most people don't. Okay, so there you go. There's 100 cards, single sleeved, and I'm kind of pushing a little bit to give a little more room. And as you can see there, it looks like it'll fit easily, possibly another 15 cards. Let me break out the other deck here. Let's see if we can get about 15 cards. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so another 15 cards. Will you go in? And will you go in easily? Yes. That easily fits another 15 cards. Based on that, heck, I might as well just see what I can max it out at. Let's see, here's 4, here's 5 more, so this would be 120 single-sleeved cards. Yeah, it fits 120. At this point, it's starting to get a little tight. Let's see, can we do 5 more? Let's see, can we do 125 single-sleeved? It can do 125 single-sleeved. At this point, I probably wouldn't want to stuff too many more in there. But yeah, 125 cards, easily, from what I can see here. Single-sleeved. I know somebody's going to ask, well, couldn't you just put a few more in there? Okay, fine, here. There's 128, and that's about as tight as I'd be willing to go. But the point is, it can easily fit your commander deck, your sideboard, and a handful of tokens. So yeah, it can fit just under 130 cards. So that's a pretty good amount of cards there that you can fit. Let me put my decks away. So decks are put away. Okay, so it can definitely hold a really good chunk of cards there. So it bills itself as 100 plus, so it looks like we were able to fit, I was able to fit 128 in there. Had a tiny, tiny bit more room, so I think you could probably max out at 130. But it also depends on your sleeves. Some sleeves are a little bit thicker, so do take that into account whenever you consider the number that I give you here. But it definitely does fit. Wow, there's so much dust that came with this thing. It does fit the advertised 100 cards, as it states there. Okay, so let's put you aside for now. Let's get our little dice tray here. It looks real nice. Again, it's got branding all over it. It's got it here. Well, the stamp is that meant to be? Okay, so here this is what I was noticing. See how the stamp here is pretty centered? Let's flip it over, and that thing's like way over here. It's they were just gonna like, oops, sorry, didn't get it quite centered. Oh well, little mistakes like that can happen. Let's hope it doesn't become a thing though. All right, and let's check our stitching here. Looks good. Stitching there looks good. And stitching there looks good. We're gonna do some more here. Let's do the magnets here real quick. It does feel like it's just a couple of magnets touching each other, one here and one here. Ooh. Do you see that discoloration there? I guess that's from the blue rubbing up against the red there. Yeah, it looks like it's just the blue is rubbed off a bit. That's unfortunate. Although, in most cases, you probably aren't going to be looking at this, especially if your thing is closed. Did it happen here on the other side, too? It sure did. In fact, this should come right off. Yeah, it does. Okay, yeah, and as you can see, it's on both sides. So, a little bit of an issue there with the color rubbing off on the red. That's unfortunate. Let me check the stitching on these sides here, too. A little bit of a double stitch, but that's normal. Let's take a look at inside. Ooh, look at that. Looks real nice. Got the branding on the inside there again. Got that same soft felt. A little bit of a bump right here. Let's see, any glue issues? Looks like there's tiny bits of glue right here along the edge. Okay. But overall, it actually seems pretty good. It's just unfortunate that the blue is running off there. Let me check this little flap. And again, it folds out. Doesn't have those little bumps, which is nice. And then, of course, you got a magnet here on either side, and then you've got the little stamping. And again, more little bits of paper there, unfortunately. That one doesn't not want to come off. Okay, but yeah, you got a magnet here on the top and the bottom. Inside stitching. A little bit of a loose thread right there. Overall, not bad. With the exception of that loose thread there, the stitching seems okay. All right, let's grab our dice, and let's go ahead and load this thing up and see how easily it carries them all. It should carry them just fine from the look of it. There we go. That's our kind of a standard dice set right there. 7. All right, so let's close this up. All right. Yeah. The magnets are definitely strong enough. Now, the dice I have in here are fairly light. At least in my opinion, they're light. Oh, there we go. It finally did give way. I was putting quite a bit of pressure on it, so that makes sense. With normal use, it looks like it's going to be just fine, though. Because, yeah, you usually, if you've watched any of my other videos, I usually start off the testing relatively light, and then I just really start kind of going at it. And yeah, in most cases, you're not going to be really jostling this thing by itself up and down like that with that kind of pressure. Let me go ahead and stick it back on here and close it up. And of course, with this, yeah, you're not going to have to worry about that. In fact, now that I'm thinking about the jostling, I got to break out my decks again because I got to fill this sucker back up because we need to do a magnet test on this flap here. See how good this is. I have a little bit of a uneasy feeling here, but we're going to do it. That's what we're doing here. Going to test it here. We're going to put 100 cards in there. I don't foresee this being a real big issue because the magnets do feel pretty strong. But let's give it a try. Let me see. It's a little awkward for me to hold it because it's so wide. Fully loaded with 100 cards, that magnet does not feel like it's coming loose at all. Actually feels really, really good. Now, what if I just kind of forced the heck out of it? Nope, not coming loose. Pretty good. All right, so the magnets definitely hold up there. All right, so overall impressions. What do you have? I just noticed that it's got a bit of a divot here from where it's pressing up against this. Okay. So overall impressions. Pretty good deck box. I like the build quality. Like I said, there's only a few minor issues there with the glue, which can happen with pretty much any deck box. Again, if you've seen any of my other videos, plenty of other deck boxes out there that sometimes get a little too liberal with the glue use. And it looks like that's what probably happened here. The stitching is quite good. I only saw that one issue there on the actual dice tray, but the overall stitching is really, really good. Again, this has a very, very grippy feeling. I don't know how some people would feel about that. Some people like it when they have kind of a softer feel, sort of like this one. This one actually has a textured feel, but it's very easy to run your hand across. This one, it feels like it sort of sticks a little bit. So there is definitely that difference there. Do I think you should buy this? I wouldn't fault you if you did. It's a decent little deck box. This isn't really the deck box that I like to go for. I generally like some of the other Commander style deck boxes that are a little more, upright and whatnot with the viewing windows. Those those have grown on me over time. But this one, as far as quality, really, really good. The magnets are nice and strong. The dice tray is definitely something that some people really like to get into. Again, fully loaded, it holds up just fine. As far as I'm concerned, just a few minor quality issues, like the rubbing of the materials together. But again, you kind of have to forgive that because, especially where magnets are involved, there's gonna be times where it rubs together. That's just the nature of the thing, and so I can't really fault it too much. I'm going to put an affiliate link down in the description. Again, I do get a kickback whenever you use those affiliate links. And just in case I didn't mention it before, again, this deck box was sent to me for free in exchange for a review. So full disclosure there. I would say the deck box is actually just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a pretty good deck box. The build quality is definitely good enough. If I had to give it a star rating out of 5, I would say at least a 4. At the very least a 4, possibly even a 5, because I can't, other than the glue issue, I can't really find anything wrong with it. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. The magnets are strong, the stitching is good. like I said, a little liberal with the glue. But yeah, I would say 4.5, possibly 5 stars. So yeah, pretty good deck box, good entry there, Sanseking. As far as if it being worth your money, it depends on the price that you're seeing there when you go and you look on Amazon, because these prices do fluctuate a bit. So yeah, good deck box, good entry into the deck box realm here with this one. Again, Sanseking 100 card plus deck box commander. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, share the video, all that other good YouTuber stuff, and we will see you next time.